It is another evening. We are having guests on our studio today, the KDR TV studios. And today we are going to discuss on a few key areas. Some community members are actually advising, especially the African immigrant community, to take very nice information, especially from the housing project. And what they actually have today, the topic they brought forward is zero balance project. So I'm going to bring you three guests, and they'll be explaining a little bit more. They'll be expounding a little bit more on how you can get help, especially during this COVID-19 pandemic. So let me bring my guest. Hello, guys. Welcome to KDR TV.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you very much. So today we have Oluwatumini Ola and Kelly. Then we also have Jane Flisrand. So, guys, welcome to KDR TV once more.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
I appreciate that one very much. So we'll start from from my left. Maybe it's on your right, the other end. So we'll need at least 1 minute introduction from each of you guys. So let's start from Ola. Ola, go ahead, please.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me on this show again. My name is Tomi. I am from Restoration for All. I am program coordinator for Restoration for All, and the Zero Balance Project is a current project we're working on with Dakota County. And we're working with Kelly and Jane here to get everyone information about the Zero Balance Project.
Thank you very much. Now let's go to Kelly.
Hi, my name is Kelly Esch. I work with 360 Communities, which is a private nonprofit agency in Dakota County. We serve all of Dakota County. I am the housing support worker, and over the past year, I have been working on helping renters apply for rental assistance, currently the Zero Balance Project, and also Rent Help MN. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So let's go to Jan.
Me. My name is Jana Fustrand, and I work with Housing Link, and our mission is to improve people's lives through information expanding their affordable rental choices. And most people know us because we have a rental housing listing on our website. This year, we are also providing assistance and support for the Zero Balance Project, which Dakota County is one of the core funders of this project. Hennepin and Ramsey counties are also participating, and we're providing emergency rental assistance through this project, again called the Zero Balance Project.
Thank you very much for that nice introduction. So my first question is, what is Zero Balance Project?
So we actually have a PowerPoint present right here to explain a little bit about what the Zero Balance Project is. So the Zero Balance Project is an emergency rental assistance that is similar to Rent Up MN, except this one is started by the landlords, and the landlords start and lead the application on behalf of their renters. And the Zero Balance Project is going on in Dakota County, Hennepin County, including Minneapolis, and Ramsey County, including St. Paul, while Rent Up MN is statewide. So the Zero Balance Project, the property managers or owners start the application. They provide lease information, property information, amount owed, and payment information, while the renters provide income and demographic information, and also demonstrates how COVID-19 has impacted them. And the income limit is 80% area median income. And you can receive up to a maximum of 15 months of assistance. And the eligible expenses in the Zero Balance include unpaid rent dating back to March 13th, 2020, unpaid utilities and fees included in the rent, not utilities under the name of the renter. It has to be included in the rent. This is also eligible dating back to March 13th, 2020. Unpaid late fees, and also you can get 3 months of future rent paid as well. But before future rent can be approved, unpaid rent must be brought to current. Unpaid utilities covered by the landlords as a part of the rent payment are treated as rent. Eligible household is based on income, and income at or below 80% of the area median income. And if you need more information about this, you can visit the Housing Link website or contact us, 360 or REFA. So at least one person in the renter household has to qualify for the employment benefit or experienced a reduction in household income or incurred significant cost or experienced other financial hardships due to COVID-19 outbreak, such as reduced hours or income, left job due to unsafe environment, left job to care for family, contacted COVID-19 or cared for others with COVID-19, had to purchase personal protective equipment, or just medical fees and funeral fees due to COVID-19. Also, child at home due to school closures or increased childcare expenses. And what is needed from the landlord to prepare for the application is a completed W-9, a full copy of the lease, property tax statements that states where the property is located, rent ledger that shows unpaid rent, fees, and utilities, and if the renter pays with the help of an income-based subsidy, as well as the renter's email address, which is needed to invite the renter to complete their part of the application. And then the renter will need to verify their income. In the application, renters are required to confirm that their income is eligible. And there are some apartments in zip code 55118 that will be allowed to have proxy eligibility based on their socioeconomic status. So those are just the basic information to know about the Zero Balance project.
Thank you very much once again, Ola, for giving a candid explanation on how the Zero Balance project actually works. Now we are going to our second question, and the question is, what is the difference between Zero Balance and Minnesota, we call it Rent Help Minnesota? What's the difference?
I think Kelly can answer this question since she works on both projects.
Perfect.
Rent Help MN is a statewide program that is tenant initiated. So meaning that the tenant fills out the application. They can either go to renthelpmn.org to fill the application out online, or they can call 211 if they need assistance filling out the application or if they have general questions. Rent Help MN can help with past due rent back to April of 2020. They can request 12 months of past due rent, and then they can also request 3 months of future rent. In addition to rent, if they have past due rent, they can apply for any past due utilities as well. For the Zero Balance project, that is a landlord initiated program. So the landlord would begin the application on behalf of their tenants, and then each tenant would need to fill out their portion of the application. The Zero Balance project covers past due rent, as Tommy was saying, back to March 13th, 2020, and can also cover 3 months future rent. one of the chief differences between Rent Help MN and the Zero Balance project, aside from who begins the application, is that the Zero Balance project is only available to residents of Dakota, Ramsey, and Hennepin counties. Also, the Zero Balance project does not cover utility expenses that are not already included in the lease.
Thank you very much, Kelly, for that great answer. So let's go again and get some more in-depth explanation what needed to apply for Zero Balance Assistance Program. So if I need to apply for that particular program, what do I really need?
So if you're a renter, the first thing you need is for your landlord to invite you to apply. So you may have received an email from the program that invites you to apply. That means your landlord has already done this, or you could ask your landlord to apply on your behalf and then invite you in. Once you've received that invitation, you need to verify your income, and the income levels are expansive. You do have to meet the income guides of 80% of area median income, but for a single person, that's $55,950 a year. For a family of 6, that's $92,700 a year. So you need to demonstrate that your income is below that level. There are 3 different ways you can do that. The first one is if you have a tax return from last year that shows your income is at or below those levels, you can simply provide the first 2 pages of that as part of the online application. Now, if you don't have a tax return, that's no problem. If you have paperwork that shows you're eligible for a program that serves people with low incomes, you can simply upload paperwork that you've gotten this year that shows your name and address. The third option is you can go through and provide pay stubs and other documentation of your income in the last few months. So that does need to include everybody who lives in your house. And it is a little bit more work than the other 2 options, and it is also very easy to do. Now, if you have zero income, there is also a certification of zero income form, and that's in the application, and that is a way that you can demonstrate your income right now. So you need to complete that. You also need to affirm, it's taking an oath, that you have a COVID impact, a hardship or increased expenses or reduced income before you can submit that application. Those are the key things that renters need to prepare in order to apply.
Thank you very much. So let me also ask this, but let me not call it a simple question, but we need more explanation. If someone is already getting help from the Zero Balance project, then can that particular person, or can I get help from Rent Help Minnesota? I believe, Jan, you can take that question.
Sure. So you can only get help for a given time period from one program. And we really encourage people to stay in the same program. Both programs, if you've gotten assistance, let you reapply for additional assistance if you need more assistance. And that will be faster and easier if you reapply to the same program. So once you've chosen the program that's best for you, if you need more assistance, apply for more assistance from that same program.
Thank you very much. Can you apply or start a new application when you have already received assistance from Rent Help Minnesota? Kelly, can you assist us on that now?
Let me just ask a question to make sure that I'm understanding.
Yes.
If you've already received Rent Help MN, can you apply, fill out an application through the Zero Balance project? Is that?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have received assistance through Rent Help MN and that has been paid, I think it would be possible. But as Jana was saying, it is more probably quicker and more convenient for the tenant to continue with Rent Help MN. And they should be able to log in. And I'm not sure if this is up yet on the website, but soon it will be. They can log into their Rent Help MN account that they had set up, and there should be on their dashboard a reapply button. I'm not certain that this has been added quite yet, but I know that it is on the horizon soon.
Thank you very much. The other question is, can someone else within the household start another application when another household member has already applied for help?
These applications are intended to cover, one application per one household.
Okay.
So it would be considered a duplicate application if, for example, two roommates separately applied. So the roommates would have to determine which application will go forward.
Okay, what about, go ahead.
Add,
go ahead, yeah.
If I may.
Yes, go ahead.
If you have two roommates or two people who both need help in the same household, you should include all of the assistance that you both need in your application. So between your household, decide who's going to be the main name on that application, and then make sure that you're talking to each other about all of the assistance that you need and request all of that at the same time.
Okay. What about if one household member moved to a different apartment and already they had received help when they were staying in the other place? So is it possible for the person who has actually moved out to apply for that, for help from either the Zero Balance or Rent Help Minnesota?
So I think what we can say is that you have to be living in the apartment building to apply for the Zero Balance project because it is landlord initiated. So you still have to be living in that apartment complex to apply for the Zero Balance project.
Thank you very much. So viewers are asking a few questions here. One of them wants to understand exactly how long can Rent Help or the Zero Balance help someone who is in need. How long will that take? I mean, like, I apply for today, I receive it. So how long? I mean, how many months from today when I receive the help will I get assistance?
For Rent Help MN, that's not a question that I can answer. I'm not affiliated with the Minnesota Housing Finance Agency that is responsible for processing the applications, but I do know that they have quite a backlog, and it is taking a long time for them to process applications. So what I have been recommending my clients to do is to continue to call 211 to check the status of their application. And then I just would also like to mention that for both the Zero Balance project and for Rent Help MN applications that are in pending status, which means that the application has been completed and submitted, and documentation included as well. If they're in pending status, they do receive safe harbor protection from evictions through June 1st of 2022. So, and what that means is while your application is pending, you are not subject to an eviction. And then once a determination has been made, either approved or denied, if you're approved, then you'll have your rent paid. And if you're denied, then at that time, you may be subject to an eviction action with the end of the eviction moratorium having passed.
Thank you very much. I got you clearly. So my other question is, after I've received the help from Rent Help Minnesota or Zero Balance project, how long will I be receiving that help? Like for how many months? Can I take 2 years? Will I be getting the help throughout? Ian, can you take that question, please?
So with both of the programs, the number of months of assistance is the same. You can receive up to a total of 15 months of assistance.
Wonderful. That is 1 year, 3 months. Yep.
Yeah. And
Thank
I
you very
think on the website, it states that soon it will be expanded to 18 months as well. So I think very soon you can receive up to 18 months of help soon.
Okay, and somebody is asking a question here. Can you get assistance from both? You know, people, some of them are watching, are logging in right now and watching. I did also share the links with you guys if you didn't get the links earlier on. Can somebody get assistance from both the agencies? Kelly, if you can take. Okay, Jan, go ahead. I see you want to take it. Go ahead.
So you can apply to both of the programs, but you can receive assistance for a particular month only from one program or the other program. And we strongly encourage you not to apply to both of the programs. There's the processing and the reviewing of your application. If you need additional assistance, it will be easier for you and also for the team that's doing the reviews. It will be faster if you reapply from the same program. So if you've gotten 6 months of help from either of the programs and you need more assistance, please reapply and reapply to the same program that already helped you. There's another 9 months of assistance available to you at that same program.
Okay. Thank you very much. Now let me ask Kelly this particular question. You have applied for help. Luckily enough, you've stayed there for the next, for the 15 months. And again, you've defaulted to pay rent for another, just for example, another 3 months. You've not received rent and you've got an eviction order. What can somebody do in that particular situation?
So if they have reached the limit of the number of months where they can apply for assistance through Rent Help MN or the Zero Balance Project, then I can speak for Dakota County. The recommendation would be to go to emergency assistance through the county and apply there. If they are denied or do not qualify through the county emergency assistance, then they would want to go to the CAP program next. They do have rental assistance dollars available. If for some reason they are denied through CAP, then they can come to us at 360 Communities for those residents of Lakeville, Farmington, Rosemount, Eagan, and Burnsville. For residents of the northern part of the county, they can go to Neighbors Inc. They do have some rent assistance dollars available. For residents of Hastings, they can go to Hastings Family Services, and they also have some rental assistance dollars available.
Thank you very much. Okay, now these questions go directly to Ola. Ola, let's now speak about the African immigrant. How can these guys actually reach you so that they can get the help? Where is the office located? Do you have a number? Do you have a website and all that? How possible can they locate you?
Yes, we do have a website. We actually have a Facebook as well. My phone number, we've been distributing a lot of flyers around the community with events that are going on, especially the Somalian Independence Day that went on, I think last week. So my number is on that flyer. Our website is Restoration for All. Just search it up. You find it online on Google. And our Facebook is Restoration for the number all. If you need assistance, just call us, message us on Facebook. We check it pretty often. So yeah, we're very much connected with all our social medias. Connect us on any social media, the Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, my phone number. You get me all on those.
Thank you very much. Same question to Kelly. How can the African immigrant community get your services? How can they reach you?
They can call us at either of our resource centers. We have a resource center in Burnsville, and I can provide that phone number. It is 952-985-5300, or they can give us a call at our Rosemount Family Resource Center, which is 651-322-5113. Every Friday, we have a Hope Clinic, and that clinic provides application assistance services, as well as access to a legal kiosk and an emergency food bag. And all you need to do is call one of our resource centers and let them know that you are looking for application assistance for Rent Help MN or Zero Balance. And we can get you scheduled for one of our Hope clinics on a Friday. And we also do have appointments available throughout the week. So yeah, just we welcome you to give us a call. And we're here to help you with the applications because they can be tricky, and we can answer questions, or else we can contact either Housing Link or 211. If we're not able to answer, we can contact those resources for you as well while you're there, and get your questions answered.
Thank you very much. Same question to Jan.
So the fastest way for us to get back to you is actually to email us, which is zerobalanceproject@housinglink.org. We do also have a phone line, and we're helping people apply there. Primarily, the phone line is for landlords. So landlords also need to know how to submit their application so they can invite renters. And we help anybody who calls our number, which is 612-200-1614.
Thank you very much. So there's another question from one of our viewers here. He's asking, she's asking, can renters receive help for future rent from either of the project?
Yes, they can. They can request for 3 months future rent. There is one caveat for those renters who are receiving housing assistance through, for example, a voucher program where the amount of their rent varies with the amount of their income. They may not be eligible for future rent because of the fact that their rental amount depends on their income, and incomes change rapidly. So there are federal rules that don't permit paying future rent. Hannah, do you have anything to add to that? I'm not sure if I...
That was exactly accurate for Zero Balance Project.
And there is also a checkbox in the renter's part of the application that states, that allows you to check the box if you want to apply for future rent, if you know you will not be able to make those payments. So there is a checkbox that straightforward questions like that.
And the same is true of the Rent Help MN program. It's clear on the application where you would request that future rent.
Well, thank you. Let me now bring in another scenario here. One of our viewers is asking. People are having very difficult questions. So, but you are the expert. So I'll let you guys actually answer those questions. Somebody is asking. He starts receiving the help either from the Zero Balance Project or the restoration or the Housing Link, and then in 2 months down the line, he gets a job with a very high pay hike. Will he continue to receive for the next 2 months help from you guys, or the taps will just be cut immediately?
So congratulations on that new job. That is wonderful news, and I hope everybody has that experience.
Yes.
The application, you can request up to 3 months of future rent, and that check is mailed to the property owner or manager, who usually collects the rent. So that money will go to pay that future rent in advance, and that will credit against your rent. I would want to call the reviewers in that particular scenario, because the third month would be that month where that would be relevant. The entity, the person who would be responsible for repaying that money, if somebody is responsible, would be the landlord, because they're the ones who received the check. So I would suggest calling Zero Balance Project or emailing Zero Balance Project with that specific situation when you have that wonderful experience of a new job with a big pay hike.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So these questions now go to our sister Ola. Here is a family. Here we have two families living together because the other family could not manage actually to pay rent, and they basically come and try to stay together. I don't know why this person is still insisting to ask this particular question. These are two different families, but one has now come to stay to live with the other one. Can they still get help when they get an abode, or they are being helped in this other family?
Yeah. So as long as they live under one roof, they count as one household. So just one person in the household has to qualify for the entire household to get help. So not different people from different family get asked to start different applications. Just one person in the household, one person from both families just need to start the application to get help or to get rent help. You don't need to start a different application for each family, basically. So if you're living under one household, just one person from both families has to apply.
Let me read the question here. Okay, I've seen. Okay. This is what he's trying also to explain. Or she's trying to elaborate or really need some more help. They were evicted from their former place, and they now want to get assistance so that they can get a different apartment to live in. So is it possible for them to for them to process the application? Because from the explanation here you guys are telling us is that the check is going directly to the owner of the apartment. But right now this person has been evicted from one area, and now they want to get a new apartment. What's the procedure in that particular situation or scenario?
So I think that the Treasury rules, that's the Department of the Treasury, that's the federal entity that is administering these dollars. They do permit some help with move-in costs. The application does not, for Rent Help MN, does not really provide a section in the application to make that request. So they can call 211. Otherwise, I would recommend that they check with Dakota County Emergency Assistance Programs to see if they may qualify for move-in assistance. If not, then their next step would be to go to the CAP agency and request move-in assistance dollars. And then from there, they would, depending on which city they're in. So for example, if they live in Burnsville, they can always call us at 360 Communities to see if we can assist with move-in costs.
Thank you very much. Yeah, another question here. This is another scenario whereby somebody was evicted from his house, from his apartment, and they really want to get assistance to get another apartment. Unfortunately, they cannot manage to get this other apartment because from the other end, they are talking about the rent history and all that, and they lost a job due to the COVID pandemic. And this is something actually which really happened to so many communities around, even not only in Minnesota, but across the nation. So how can you help these people get an apartment because they need the rental history?
Yeah, this is a really common obstacle that people are facing if their rental history is, if they've got an eviction or if their credit is maybe not as good because they've gone through a financial crisis. It can definitely create obstacles. My recommendation would be to call the Dakota County Housing Crisis Line, particularly if they are homeless, because that is the first way, sort of the gateway to programs that are available to help families or individuals who are homeless. Um, and so if you give me a minute, I can get that number for you. So,
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
yeah.
People need help. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. People need help. Take your time, Kylie.
Okay, so the Dakota County Housing Crisis Line is 651 554 5751.
Can you repeat it, please, once again?
Sure. The number is 651 554 5751.
Thank you very much. I believe the listener or the viewer has gotten that information. So this is another, not really a different scenario, but is the Zero Balance project in?
I'm sorry, we can't hear you, Bernard.
Oh, we lost you there. We can't hear you. No. Maybe I can ask Kelly a question about how can you give information to landlords about best practices for the successful completion and submission of applications? Like what ways would be the best way to go if you want to ensure a successful application submission?
Yeah, so communication is really the biggest key. And so I would recommend for the Zero Balance Project, contacting your tenants who have past due rent and may qualify for this program to make sure that you have an updated email address from them, because that is the primary way in which your tenants will receive the application information and the link to be able to start their portion of the Zero Balance Project application. If your tenants are struggling with getting the applications completed, they're just not sure what documentation they need, they have a lot of questions before they start to fill out the application, or they have any other kind of obstacle, perhaps they don't have access to technology, you are more than welcome to give us a call at 360 Communities. And I would encourage you to speak with Housing Link, either over the phone or by email, to try to troubleshoot any issues that may be coming up for your tenants. I think that landlords are often filling out a spreadsheet of many, many email addresses, and it is so easy to type in a wrong letter or a wrong number. And so I think it's important that landlords know that the email addresses can be reset by Housing Link personnel to ensure that the application can be sent to the correct person and completed.
Thank you.
I would like to add something else.
Go ahead, Jan.
So We have heard from some landlords that they have asked their staff to help their tenants complete the applications, and that they are sharing either computers or tablets or the internet in their offices to help do that, or they've asked their staff to help their renters complete their applications. Some are hosting clinics in the buildings specifically to provide that sort of help. So we encourage landlords to do that where that's possible as well.
Thank you. Sorry for that, guys. I got, now you can hear me well?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Ola, you asking another question? That is good. You've become my co-host. Go ahead. Do you have another question, Ola?
I'm really professional at this. You go ahead. Go ahead.
No problem. If you've got a question, if you guys, you've got some more information you'd like to tell our viewers, I mean, to give the information you want to give our viewers, you are really highly welcome. Now, as you're preparing to maybe give us more detail about this project, one viewer is asking, is this application going to affect their immigration status?
So
Ola. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jan. Go ahead, Jan.
Ola, if you are ready to respond, do that, please.
No, you go first. You go first.
Jan, go first.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So the application does not affect any programs that are based on income, and it is not shared with anyone associated with immigration offices. The counties and cities who are sponsoring Zero Balance Project do have a list of the people who have applied and the contact information for those people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the also names are not reported to anyone other than the counties that will access the data, and which is Dakota County, Hennepin County, and Ramsey County, as well as City of Minneapolis and St. Paul.
Thank you. Is the Zero Balance Project only helping the Dakota? I mean, is it a project for Dakota County, or this assistance is across the state?
So like we said before, Rent Help MN is statewide, while Zero Balance Project is for Dakota County, Ramsey County, and Hennepin County, including Minneapolis and City of St. Paul. Those are the three counties that are doing the Zero Balance Project.
Wonderful. So, you answered this question a little bit earlier. So, what's the big difference between these two? Somebody still wants to really get that information. What's the difference between the Rent Help MN and the Zero Balance Project? Is there a distinct difference or relation so that people can actually get this information a little bit better?
Well, Tommy just described the geography, and that is one difference. That if you live outside of those three counties, then you need to work with Rent Help MN because Zero Balance Project is not available. A second big difference is that if you pay utilities to a utility company and not to your landlord, then you probably want to work with Rent Help MN because the Zero Balance Project can only help with utilities if you pay them directly and they're included in your lease, if you pay them to your landlord through your lease. The other thing that is a really big difference is that with Rent Help MN, the renter leads the application process. And with the Zero Balance Project, the landlord takes the first step to invite renters. And they do some of the paperwork and the application when they do that initial invitation.
Thank you for that answer. So there's another question here. How long does this application take? I mean, how big is the paperwork?
So the Rent Help MN application can be a little longer to fill out. I would say it's probably about an hour's worth of work. And the reason being that the Rent Help MN application requires renters to write out the amount of each month's rent that they are requesting assistance for. And then there's a column for any amounts they might have paid, and then there's a column for fees. And so that can be quite time consuming. The same is required for utilities. However, utility bills are not broken out that way. So for ledgers for rent, it is broken down by month. But for utility bills, it's not broken down by month. So what we do is we look at the date of the past due utility, and that is the month that we fill out. So if they've got past due utilities for July, then we would put it on the July line. So it's really the rent ledger portion that is long to fill out. There are many sections that need to be signed and attestations made. And what we mean by attestations is that someone is, like Jana has said earlier, taking an oath that the information that they're providing is true and accurate. And then they need to provide more documentation through Rent Help MN than they do through the Zero Balance Project. So for Rent Help MN, they need the identification of the head of household, which can be any sort of ID. That basically the purpose is to prove you are who you say you are. And then they need documentation from their landlords. They need a lease if they have a signed lease. If not, they'll need to find a different way to establish a landlord-tenant relationship. And then they need a past due notice from their landlord. But really the best thing to provide is a ledger that shows, that breaks out the amount due by month. And then they need to provide their income documentation. The income documentation requirement is exactly the same as the Zero Balance Project income documentation, which Jana went over. But I'll just mention again that the household can provide their 2020 taxes if they've been filed. If not, they can provide the documentation that they would use to fill out their 1040 form. So that would be like a W-2 or a 1099. If they receive public assistance, such as through SNAP, then they can use that determination letter to prove that they are income qualified to apply for this program. It just needs to be dated after January 1st, 2020. Or their last option is to provide 60 days of their, the past 60 days of their income. So pay stubs, child support. If they receive SSI, that's where they would show that. So all that information needs to be uploaded. The best course of action is to ensure that you do the application online, because that will show you the pending status. Your landlord will be able to see a pending status in their portal, and will protect you from an eviction action until a decision is made on your application. If you don't have access to a computer, or you're not comfortable using a computer or other technology to fill out your application, then you need to do a couple things. You've got some options. You can call us at 360 Communities, and we can help you fill out the computer, at the application on the computer. Or you can call 211 and be asked to be connected to a field partner, and they can do your application over the phone. So you definitely have some options there. But because of all that, it takes a little bit longer. The Zero Balance Project application, the only documentation that you need to provide is your income documentation. And it's the same as I had just described and Jana described earlier. So I would say that, and there are less attestations that need to be made. So, it's just a little bit more succinct and to the point through the Zero Balance Project. I would say that one may take 30 minutes.
Oh, great explanation and elaboration. Jan, do you have anything to add on that?
So I would add that the landlords provide all the rest of that documentation that Kelly just described. So the reason it's different and the reason it's useful to have both programs is that we found last year that some people wanted to manage the whole process themselves, and other people really appreciated that landlords could provide some of that documentation. And so we're really excited that there are both options again this year, so that people can have the program that they want to work with.
Perfect. Ola, do you have any other information you might add on top of that?
I think Kelly said it all.
Okay, perfect. And then there is another question here from one of our viewers. When somebody really needs assistance, it's not only the housing assistance. You've talked of utilities. Thank you for your answers, Jan and Kelly. There is another aspect of at least ensuring that something is in the stomach, something is in the tummy, yeah? So do you guys have resources to help people get some food to put on the table for their kids or for their family?
Yes, so 360 Communities operates 5 food shelves in Dakota County. We have a food shelf at each of our resource centers in Rosemount and Burnsville. We also have a food shelf in Farmington, in Apple Valley, and in Lakeville. For those folks who live in Hastings, Hastings Family Center has a food shelf. And for those who live in northern Dakota County, Neighbors Inc. has a food shelf as well. If you are having if you don't have transportation or you're not able to leave your house for medical reasons or anything like that, when you give any of these organizations a call, including 360 Communities, please let them know. And we can, in certain instances, make deliveries to you through, at least 360 Communities does that through the DARTS transportation program. So, don't let transportation be a barrier to you. Just please call and we will problem solve with you to help you get food on your table. If you think you might qualify for SNAP assistance, then you could go to the Dakota County website and you can fill out an application through there. And there are many churches that around Dakota County that provide free meals. And there are other organizations that do the same. So you can find that information on the Dakota County website as well under resources. Or you could give us a call at 360 Communities. We have lists of places that we can provide to you. And let me give you 360 Communities phone numbers again. For the Rosemount Family Resource Center, our number is 651-322-5113. And for the Burnsville Family Resource Center, please call us at 952-985-5300.
Thank you very much. What about Jan? Housing Link?
So Housing Link does not have the same, we're housing focused and we don't have the same suite of resources that 360 Communities does. And so I would encourage you to contact all of those resources that Kelly just named, including 360 Communities, in order to get food assistance.
What about Restoration for All Inc.? Ola?
Yeah, I think 360 is the main contact here concerning food and everything, every other inquiries needed.
Thank you very much. So we've got like 5 minutes before we end the interview or the information session. So if you believe you've got something actually to pass out to our community out here, please, this is another chance for you to take the front seat and give that information out. Let's start from Ola.
I think I actually have a question for Yana. And the question is other than applications being reviewed on first come, first served base, how is the application prioritized other than being first come, first served?
So when the Zero Balance Project first opened, we were prioritizing lower income folks who were unemployed and receiving unemployment, and people who were at risk of losing their housing. First, we have reviewed most of those applications and are now reviewing on a first come, first served basis. We have been mailing out checks, so we hope that you will complete your application as soon as possible so that we can begin to review it and provide assistance as quickly as we are able.
Thank you.
Yep. Kelly, if you've got something to say, please go ahead. If you want to ask a question, go ahead also.
So for renters out there who would like some assistance or have questions about Rent Help MN or for the Zero Balance Project, please give us a call. We have multiple ways in which we can get you the application assistance that you need. And then for any landlords who are watching, for Dakota County properties, we are able to visit your property and provide application assistance on site to the renters who you have applied for the Zero Balance Project assistance. And I would be your contact person for that. So just please call the numbers that I've mentioned a couple times before and ask for me. And I am more than happy to talk with you about coming out to your property and getting your tenants hooked into the Zero Balance Project or Rent Help MN applications.
Thank you very much. So let's go to Jan.
So initially, we opened the Zero Balance Project for about 2 weeks in June and then closed it, and we've been processing all of those applications. Everybody, I want you to know that we have reopened that application. So if your landlord didn't get you submitted as someone who they would like to have assistance, contact them and let them know that they can do that again today or as soon as they are able to submit that application. We want to assist as many people as possible, as quickly as possible. And step 1 is to make sure your landlord applies, and then step 2 is to complete your application.
Thank you very much, guys. One question. It's not a serious question, but one question. I mean, let me not actually just say it's not a serious question, but one person is asking. We are talking about Rent Help Minnesota, but there are some homeowners who also need assistance. Some of them have missed paying their mortgage. So is there any assistance which comes from Rent Help Minnesota?
Not through Rent Help MN or the Zero Balance Project. That's only for renters, but mortgage assistance has been funded through the American Rescue Plan that was passed in March. And I think that a program is in development through the state for mortgage assistance. So I would recommend taking a look at the Minnesota Housing Finance Agency's website and Googling mortgage assistance and or it's searching for mortgage assistance, and they will have some information about the program, hopefully maybe even some dates in which the information may become available. Another resource is through the Home Ownership Center. This is also a state program, and they provide assistance in a number of different situations to homeowners. So that actually may be your first best stop. So just if you're able to use your phone or if you have access to a computer, just look for the Minnesota Home Ownership Center and take a look there, see what kind of information they have for you.
Thank you very much. If there is no any other question or any other information you might want to give or tell the community, it's been like 1 hour and we've really had a very nice discussion. I would like to thank you all for availing yourself. Thank you very much, Ola, for making this happen. And we encourage you to come back again. We are a TV station basically serving the Twin Cities. We are not only serving the African immigrants, but we are serving all the community. So if you got any good information for the community to get, please, you are highly welcome at KDR TV Studios. The other thing is we'll be having a major event next Sunday, arranged by an agency calling itself Diaspora Policy Institute, in collaboration with KDR TV. The event is going to take place at the Brooklyn Park, Ebenezer Church. Maybe later on we'll give all the information, the details of where the event will take place. If that is another great opportunity where you can actually come and make the community understand what you are doing out here for them. So I would really encourage you to get time and come to that place and give the information there. Thank you very much. God bless you. Till next time. Thank you very much from KDR TV. My name is Bernard Omweri. Thank you very much.
And I would like to thank Dakota County and Poland Foundation for supporting reference services to all BIPOC tenants in Dakota County to navigate the application process and providing the grant through Poland Foundation and being administered by Dakota County. Thank you so much, Kelly and Yane and Bernard, for having us on the show. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.